Let's speak to my good friend Andrew Appiah Danquah, who is Director Legal of the United Party. Thank you very much for your time and good morning to you.
Good morning, Hanan. How are you?
I'm doing, and I hope you are too.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
And I wonder if you followed the matter of Abdul Hanan. So yesterday, the charges were dropped against him. He was immediately rearrested. In this case, he was arrested by a joint team made up of Iyoko and Nakok. Now, explain to us, is this irregular when it comes to criminal prosecution?
So let me wish your lovely listeners a good morning and yourself a good morning. In fact, what happened yesterday hasn't been my understanding. It's something which is very regular in criminal proceedings. I think it is what we call nolli prosequi. So, the Attorney General has the power to stop any prosecution at any point in time before its case closes. Yeah, and because his season of stopping the prosecution at that time does not amount to an acquittal. It's just at this time. The accused can be rearrested immediately and fresh charges preferred against them. Yeah, so there's nothing irregular. I think it's a standard thing. It's something that happens. About myself, I've witnessed so many times in court. So nothing special.
So usually when they do that, what signal are they sending? Will they bring? What are they trying to do?
Not to speculate. I'm thinking that probably they've chanced upon some really material evidence that would cause them to relook at the entire case and probably file something more substantial than they already filed. For me, that's the signal I'm taking without necessarily sounding speculative.
That they may perhaps have some new evidence that will significantly change the nature of the case they were bringing against Mr. Hanan and his wife.
Exactly. Something very material. And so, other than that, I don't see why they'll stop prosecution and then rearrest him immediately. I'm thinking without wanting to be speculative that they probably have chanced on something really material.
In this case, I don't know what the charges against him are, but initially I thought the investigations were solely that of Iyoko. Now, in a case where the report is that NACOC officers were involved, what should we be reading into that?
I don't read too much into it because of the way we do this country. Abdul-Wahab was arrested by NACOC. That wasn't a drug-related issue. I think it had issues to do with money laundering. Already in the process, he was charged with, among other things, stealing and money laundering. So, like I'm saying, I don't want to be speculative, but for me, to have been arrested by a joint operation by both Iyoko and NACOC suggests that probably they've chanced on really, really, really material evidence that changes the entire nature of the case. And down the state, the Attorney General to enter into this plea of nolli prosequi and then cause a first arrest immediately. So what I don't know is whether or not they preferred first charges, whether they filed first charges. I don't know about that. But the nature of his discharge and the manner of his rearrest immediately by joint effort of Iyoko and NACOC suggests that they've chanced on something really serious. At this stage, I advise that we just speculate. Let's just look at the anti-corruption institutions and see how this goes. But the manner and circumstance of rearrest suggests that they may have chanced on something really material that changes the very nature of their prosecution. Yeah.
Will this delay the case further?
Well, certainly. and also, what will happen is that they will have to start that process. So there'll be arraignment. You'll be starting to be read to him. What's it called? You'll be asked to plead whether guilty or not guilty. So the entire process is going to start again. But you see, you would rather delay and secure conviction than to rush and fail. You get picture. And so that if the reason for the discharge and rearrest is because they've chanced on a material evidence that changes the nature of the case, but then put them in a position of likely securing a conviction. I think we can accept that rather than rush and go and fail.
Interesting. In this case, his lawyer is confident that if they rearrest him 100 times, he will be freed 100 times because there's really nothing against him. Is he? Is it the confidence of a defense lawyer who wants to give his client some assurance, or what should we be reading into that?
Oh, I see. They have very good lawyers, hasn't? I don't think we can have a debate as to the quality of Confederami and Okesnobo in such cases. We can't have a debate. Really good lawyers. So we shouldn't take their confidence lightly. We all don't know what they have up their sleeve. But in criminal trial, the burden is always on the prosecution. And Ayine himself is a top. Both Ayine and Justice are top lawyers. So, like I say, I don't want us to speculate. Every lawyer who's on the case has confidence in the success of the case. So, that's normal. But like I said, this is a criminal matter, and the burden of persuading the judge as to the guilt of the accused lies squarely within the bosom of the prosecution. And I trust that they are able to do a great job in seeking justice for Ghana.
Let me then also ask you, because this is attributed to him. That's Godfrey Abdul-Wahab. This is a gross abuse of prosecutorial discretion. I've never seen its kind. For a former attorney general, and what you said, does that surprise you?
Yeah, it surprises me about what they're trying to say. With the kind of pattern we have in Ghana, where people can dissipate, print 60 billion, cause radical damage, and you get you to turn around and start crying when there is a policy loss of 15.9 billion. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but because of the culture here. But I think all lawyers know, or anybody who frequents the court ought to understand that when it comes to the issue of non-prosecutor and filing fresh charges, it's not that happens all the time. I'm sure Governor Dem himself has done this so many times. So I think he's just playing. For me, I think that the political they're playing game with position, but himself does not believe in what you see. Himself, I'll be very surprised if he believes in what he's doing.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for speaking to us.
Always a pleasure.
And of course, I wish him the best of the day. That's Andrew Appiah Danquah. If you come to Radio Gold here, there's a place they call Appiah Danquah. Yeah. His father used to live there. He lived there when he was younger. So when you see Appiah Danquah at Latibia Okoshi, it is his family, his father. It was named after his father. So he's a Latibia Okoshi guy. Anyway, Michael Mwamwati says a happy birthday to you, my Daniel Nati. Daniel